It is a good place for a hideout. My God, look at those ropes. Yeah, that goes in a little bit. So let's come back out. I'm gonna turn on the light. I'm not going very fast. I'm covered head to toe in dust. So I want to talk just a moment here about Rock Stanley, a 75-year-old former Marine from Texas who is an experienced hiker. He visited Mount Charleston, which is a mountain range outside of Las Vegas, about once a year for the last 3 decades to hike. That's 30 years the guy's been coming out here. He normally walked the trails with a partner, but Rock Stanley decided to go solo last Tuesday, 8/23, and has not been seen or heard from since. The search continues. Rock Stanley, 75 years old, last seen on August 23rd, last seen around Mount Charleston area. All right, one other possibility is Robbers Roost Trail. Now, this trail is just down from the North Loop Trail where he was last found. So if you're lost out in the wilderness, what are you going to do? You're going to find shelter someplace. And Robbers Roost is a somewhat, I mean, if this guy was coming out here for 30 years, I guarantee you he knew this area very well. And you could see it's kind of a little cave area, not really a spring in there. It's a short, moderately strenuous loop trail that heads up a narrow canyon to some limestone caves. According to local legend, they were used by bandits as a hideout while raiding travelers on the Old Mormon Trail, which crosses the Las Vegas Valley. No, I'm not sure about that. That's just an old legend. But again, Bird and Hike has kind of a write-up on this. You can Google Bird and Hike and see the start of the trail there. It's an interesting hike because it's got some special features as far as these limestone caves and whatnot, and it's really popular with climbers, mountain climbers. You can see some of these caves going pretty far. But yeah, mountain climbers, they'll scale these sheer cliff faces. So is it possible he went down there? I mean, it's, a mile or so down the road. If he was trying to got on the road and walked down the road to the lodge, yeah, it's possible he went up to Robbers Roost. So let's go ahead and break to Google Earth and see exactly where Robbers Roost is. All right, so here's the coordinates to Robbers Roost. Obviously, it's nearby where the other location was where he was last found, the North Loop Trail. All right, so here's Robbers Roost. Let's zoom out a little bit. North Loop Trail, where he was last found, is right up here somewhere. So you get a straight line coming across. It's some rugged stuff. Did he come across here to Robbers Roost? It's entirely possible. He may have come here for a break. So if you zoom in, let's go ahead and change orientation here so you can really kind of see the terrain and zoom in. Robbers Roost Trailhead starts here. It starts out easily enough, and you can see there is some paths which lead up to where he may have been or was last seen. You come up here, and then you got some extreme sheer cliff faces right in here, and you can see there may be some caves in there. There may be some shelters. He may have been seeking shelter, and he could have actually gone into Robbers Roost. So that is a possibility as well. Zooming out, it's this whole area right here. This is the area where it's believed he was hiking, and if he had somehow tried to take a shortcut down here to the highway, he could have gone to right here, he could have gone to Robbers Roost. So that's another possibility as well. Let's go ahead and go back to the story. So yeah, you saw that it's some rugged stuff out there. But the family said he's done this trail before and always makes it home about 6 p.m. He's done it so many times. He never thought this would happen to him. His experience, he's smart. It's just completely unexpected. Here's the kind of missing poster from Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, missing persons, and people who last saw him said he appeared disoriented. I mean, they said he was asking people, "Where are we? Where are you?" He just seemed kind of confused. They noticed his legs were shaking, and one of the hikers remembers thinking to herself, "If this is the beginning of a trail, this guy needs to turn back." Well, if they saw him in that condition, why didn't they call 911? I mean, why did they let him go on? It's really sad that people just are concerned about themselves in their own little world these days. If it was me, I probably would have said something or called the police and said, "Look, there's this guy out here. He's disoriented. Maybe he needs medical attention." And that may be what's going on, and that's why I don't think he went very far from the trailhead. But I was not on the search team, so it's really hard to say. He was disoriented. Extreme heat approaches the valley. It's extremely hot in Las Vegas. I mean, I lived in Texas for a long time where it really gets hot. This is some heat here. It's 110 degrees plus around here in the valley. Now it's a little cooler up in the mountain, but still, the afternoons up there, it gets really, really hot. And finally, this is an article from August 31st, and they said, still further efforts were taken Wednesday. That's a week after he was last heard from to find the guy. Red Rock Search and Rescue conducted 5 searches with 100 volunteers, more than 1,000 man-hours, covering square miles both on and off the trail. Nothing was found for this guy. He simply disappeared without a trace. I keep thinking, what if it happened to me? What if I disappeared? What if it was a family member? I just wish there was something I could do. Just maybe there was something I could do to help. This is Robbers Roost, right up there. There should be like a small cave or outcropping or something we're going to hike to. So let's find out a little bit more about Robbers Roost, where we're at. So this is a place that don't really permit overnight camping. There is world-class climbing out here. This is the Robbers Roost Trail. And here is the history of Robbers Roost. A roost for robbers. Legend suggests Robbers Roost cave area was used by horse thieves as a hideout around 1885 until cattle rustling became more profitable. The thieves may have robbed travelers on the Old Mormon Road, a trail from Utah that went through Las Vegas Valley on its way to California. We're going to go to the Robbers Roost cave area. And you know why we're going up there? Because Rock Stanley is missing and has not been seen or heard from since last Tuesday. 75-year-old hiker from Texas, experienced hiker, hiking out in this area once a year for the last 30 years. Supposedly was in shape, knew what he was doing, but is evidently still out here somewhere and is all likelihood, unfortunately, possibly deceased. Now you can see out here it's no shooting. This is a hiking area. However, carrying weapons are permitted out here. You just can't shoot them, and that's fine. We won't be shooting unless it's a life-threatening situation. So without further ado, let's get going and head up to Robbers Roost, which is up there, and see what we can find. All right, and away we go. Already we have a grave site, 1994 to 41020. Michael, I'm not going to mispronounce his name out of respect, but clearly something happened out here a long time ago, and it's very unfortunate. Don't want to step on what's quite possibly a grave. So here's the trail up to Robbers Roost, and without further ado, let's get going. I don't know how long the trail is, but I could see the cave area up there, so I know it's not too extreme. Rock Stanley could be anywhere out here. I don't know how we got to that first trailhead if he drove, or he could be out here. It's hard to say. He could be anywhere. Not expecting to find the man, but you never know. So let's press on and see what we can find. All right, so we did our warm-up hike on that North Loop Trail, and you can see up there Robbers Roost cave area, limestone cave. I would imagine there could even be some artifacts up there if this was a hideout for robbers. So let's keep on going. It looks like a well-traveled path, a little less rugged so far than the North Loop Trail was, but we're going to keep on going and get up there. Following a trail kind of like a wash, thing up the hill, you could see people kind of line the path with boulders so you know which way to go. It's about 8,000 foot level, 500 feet or so lower than we were just at, but it's still a high elevation. It's still an uphill climb,
and it's still strenuous, even for a 75-year-old or someone who's somewhere in between 75 and 18. The Roost up there doesn't look that far, so it's probably going to be a killer uphill climb, but not much of a distance one. So let's keep going over these rocks. Definitely different terrain than we're used to in the desert. A lot more plant life, greenery, pine cones, super steep hills. It's clear this trail is a wash, that well-traveled enough to have a trail here. Just like going up a set of stairs. I'm trying to drink water, even if I'm not thirsty. And I'm under my heart rate, which is about 135 beats per minute. We've only been hiking less than 6 minutes. It's warming up out here, but we're almost there. And I think if we pace ourselves, take it slow, we'll make it up there without any issues. But coming out here in the heat of the day, forget it. See how easy it is to trip? We're not paying attention. Looks like over time, people may have carved some stairs in these rocks, which make it easy. But it's still like climbing a set of stairs, which can be strenuous. Look at that valley up there. Beautiful. Let's keep going. Get up these rocks. Our heart rate 150 beats per minute. It wasn't really that far. Like I said, 7-minute hike. But in this heat, uphill, high elevations is really strenuous. Now you can see up here, Robert's Roost, these little limestone caves. It is a good place for a hideout. I'm gonna go up a little more, see what we can see up there. See if there's any caves that go in at all. And it's a very common hike, so it's highly unlikely that Mr. Stanley will be found out here, but you never know. If you watch the Missing 411 series, you can see that these are videos involving people who have disappeared in the national parks. There's been extensive searches for them, and then after a certain period of time, the people are found, usually dead, and usually in an area that was well searched. For some strange reason, that's a common theme with disappearances. Joar Hedgie disappeared in Henderson, and she was later found. Her remains were found in an area that had been previously searched. Very strange. All right. Let's come on over here. Looks like that's a strenuous climb up there, but I'll tell you what, you know me, we're gonna put on our gloves and do it. But just take a quick look around, see what else there is to see. Looks really rugged. First time I head up there, then we're gonna come back and I think we're gonna try to get up in this outcropping here, because I do see some ropes where some climbers have been. I do want to check that out in person. Looks like there's been some climbers up there. Be really interesting. So first, like I said, let's head up this way and come over this rugged terrain. Man, there's some rugged stuff. Now I feel at home. But these rocks are a lot softer than out in the Desert National Wildlife Reserve because they're so well traveled. So the rocks out there are like sandpaper and easy to keep your grip. These are soft and easy to slip off of. So what I'm doing is following what appears to be a path through these woods, seeing what we could see. And it's significantly cooler in here in the shade than it is out there. Wow, look at this. Take off the sunglasses and come on up over these rocks. It is really cool here. At least 10, 20 degrees cooler than in the sun, just because of the wooded shade. Yeah, look at this. I think we can go all the way up there. Let's do it. My God, look at those ropes. That's not vertical. Jesus, that's upside down. And people are climbing that stuff. You see those ropes? They're in the sheer cliff face. My God, people are climbing up there. All right, I'm making a point to drink a lot of water to stay hydrated. You see Griffith Peak way out there. And we're way up here in the mountains. This is where we're gonna go right now to see what's up here over this really rugged stuff. It's a well-worn path, but it looks like there might be some interesting caves or something else up here. So let's keep going and see what we could find. There's some kind of a bird. That was the radio. Can we catch him on film up closer, or did he fly away? There he is. It's just some kind of a bird. That's all it is. All right. Look at this area. So much different than Desert National Wildlife Reserve. Let's go a little further. So this is Robert's Roost, a hideout for horse thieves. Back in the 1800s, you can see these sheer cliff faces. Just trying to see in here. All right, this is something I would expect to see a big cave. So let's get the small flashlight out. See what we can see inside there. Holy shit, that one does go inside. Yeah, that does go in there. Look at that. I don't know if I want to climb it, crawl in there, or if it goes any further than this. But you could tell it goes way in there, and I'm extending my GoPro in there without crawling in myself. But yeah, that goes in a little bit. So let's come back out. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. That does go in a little bit. And I'm willing to bet that some of these little pocket caves out here do go in. This is a lot different terrain than Desert National Wildlife Reserve that we're used to exploring, looking for Kenny Beach, so you never know what you might find out here. This looks like it might be the top, and we probably could climb up there, but it looks a little dangerous, and I don't know what's up there, and I'm not too keen on killing myself today. So as far as how far we are from the road, what, about 13 minutes, not even half a mile. So it's not that far. But there's still plenty of stuff to see around here at Robert's Roost. So let's just walk around a little bit and see what else we can find. We already found one cave. See what's up over there. And on the way back, we'll head over there to the little embankment where people have got ropes going all up the side of this mountain. It's not that hard of a climb, but it is tricky. All right. Unless somebody made a fire in there. So let's come around over here carefully and see if we can get up to that little outcropping and see what's in there. Yeah. I'm just wondering if there's any caves up there. It's clear there's been a fire up there. Nothing destroys the environment like people do. Okay. Now these rocks are not as sharp as they are at Desert National. So that's why I want to be careful and watch our step, because see how slippery they are. Pretty easy to slip, lose your balance. Now some of these do go in, it looks like, so we're gonna turn the light and crawl a little bit and see what's in there. You know, in fact, I'm gonna pause here, take off my pack and get the big flashlight. Because you can see we're way up here. So we get the big light out and we'll crawl in there a little bit, see what we can find. All right, I'm leaving my pack, sunglasses here. And I've got the light, Fenix LR35R. You're gonna see how bright it is. And what we're gonna do is crawl in part of a way in this cave and see what's in there. So, the GoPro has a light, but this is a flashlight. I had this Fenix. It's clearly much brighter. Okay, at maximum brightness, which is what it's at now, it's good for about 30 minutes. So I don't think this cave goes in very far, but I do want to come in here and at least take a look. You can see footprints of people have been in here before, and there's also a lot of, looks like flies. Probably mosquitoes up here too, but I just want to see what's in this little chamber up here, if anything at all. I'm not going very fast. I'm not going very far. You can see these freaking flies floating around. Now, I don't smell anything dead in here. And I'm crawling on my stomach inside this chamber. And you can see it doesn't go in very far, but this cave goes in maybe 40 or 50 feet or so. And there's nothing in here but flies. But there's no bodies in here because I don't smell anything. And a dead body after a week would almost certainly have a smell to it. So something goes over here. I don't know what it is. It's just a clothespin, it looks like. But over there, nothing. So let's slowly and carefully crawl out of here without hitting our head, because I don't have a helmet. I wasn't prepared for caving or anything. And there you have it. It's really dusty, so I'm having to wipe off the lens of the GoPro, and you can see in this cave, I'm turning off the light here for a minute, because this light actually gets pretty hot, because it's so extremely bright. But yeah, that's what it looks like inside this cave. That's what it looks like back there. It's actually a little creepy, but look, if you needed a shelter, this would be a perfect shelter. It's dirty and dusty, but yeah, this cave would make a good shelter. So let's carefully get out of here and head to some other point. Hands down, one of the dirtiest, dustiest, filthiest caves I've ever been in. I am covered head to toe in dust. It is just absolutely nuts how dusty this is. The GoPro, you should see it how dusty it is. I had to wipe the lenses off. Let's carefully navigate down these rocks. And like I said, they're well worn from other people climbing, so it's clear a lot of people have been out here, unlike Desert National Wildlife Reserve. But because they're not sharp like in the reserve, it's very easy to lose your grip and slide and slip. So I'm just trying to be extremely careful coming down here. And yeah, I know I should have had the helmet cam for this, but you know what? This works just good enough for me for this time. So yeah, looking over here, we're gonna go to that outcropping over there and check it out, and then that's gonna be it for Robert's Roost. You can see, look at these sheer cliff faces. Now, I don't know if you could see over there, but if you see those shiny silver things going up the side of the cliff, this is what climbers go up there. So if you had full climbing gear, you could climb this cliff face. You could see where people have had like their hammers or spike shoes or whatever going up there, and these carabiners that they're clipping into to go up this cliff face. Holy crap, that's insane. That's 100 foot cliff up there. I mean, you fall, you're gonna die. You are literally gonna die on these rocks. See how big it is, and people are climbing this. That's nuts. But you know what? If you know what you're doing, you're well trained. I guess it's not that big a deal. It's just a bigger risk than I'm willing to take. So let's head down here and head through this little valley to that embankment over there and see what's in there. Some rugged stuff, so I'm gonna roll film. I could see a bundle of rope hanging over there and some kind of a pole or something. Maybe it's climbing gear left for other climbers. I don't know, but we're gonna go check it out. Because it looks like a popular rock climbing area. And the closer I get, when you see these sheer cliff faces, you're gonna be shocked. If you're not a climber yourself, I mean, look. So people are climbing literally upside down, and they're climbing up this sheer cliff face right up there. That's just nuts. Let's see, I don't think we can come here, but let's come down a little bit and see if there's a way up there safely. Of course, safety first, because see, we almost lost our balance. Obviously, we're by ourselves, and unlike Desert National Wildlife Reserve, I just checked and we do not have a cell signal out here. So this right here might be our ticket up there. Yeah, I got a good handhold, a good foothold. I'm gonna come up this way, and yeah, I think we could do it that way. Another little outcrop in there, but some of these rock climbs are just nuts. Let's come up a little bit because I kind of want to see what that pole is that somebody left. Now, at the Desert National Wildlife Reserve, I can climb rocks like this, and they're so jagged, wind blown from thousands of years, that you're not going to slip off. It's like walking on sandpaper. But out here, the rocks are a lot smoother because a lot more people come out here, so the rocks are more worn down. And this is obviously a fairly common climb or hike for people. Now, if it gets too dangerous, I'm not going to go out there and risk myself. So if I can easily get up here, I will. And if this is your first time watching one of my videos, asking me, what are you doing? Holding a GoPro with one hand. You can see that it's tethered. So if I drop it, it's not a big deal. I can always grab it and regain my grip. I'm just looking for a good foothold, a place to put my foot, because out here, here's a place to put my hand, my foot. Out here's a lot different than Desert National Wildlife Reserve. Looks like somebody put some bolt out here to get their grip, maybe, or to put carabiner on. I don't know. There's that pole, some kind of a hiking pole. I can hear some kind of an aircraft. I don't see it. But there's clearly a low-flying aircraft out here somewhere. It sounds like a plane. But in these mountains, the echoes is hard to say. Or it could be those two trucks down there, those two big rigs heading up the mountain. Either way, I can go a little further, but I'm just not seeing a reason to. I see what I wanted to see, which there's some kind of a pole over there. And on these slippery rocks, it's really easy to lose your balance. But I could see some kind of a pole. You could see the rope hanging. You could see the carabiners. People have drilled into the rocks to put these chains and carabiners. And what they do is they will hook up with their climbing gear, climbing apparatus to these carabiners, and they'll go one by one and just kind of lift themselves up. Man, you've got to be in top physical condition for this. You've got to know what you're doing. And that's just really nuts, because you can see how that is literally vertical and actually upside down until it goes up there, but that's a sheer cliff face. So some people enjoy doing it, you know, and it's just not something we do. Look at this rope here. Maybe that's a safety rope, I don't know. But it looks like all the gear is ready for people to go climbing. So we're gonna start heading back down at this point. The missing hiker, it's really sad that we didn't find him, but I didn't think we would. You could see how extremely vast this area is out here. He could literally be anywhere out in this area. I didn't think we'd find him. I was hoping we'd get lucky, but it just goes to show you, when you come out here, you've got to be prepared, not overexert yourself, because if something happens to you and people don't find you, this will become your final resting place. Let's go ahead and slowly get down here and get back to the truck. I've got 36 minutes out here so far, not even half a mile, so it's not that big of a hike. It's just strenuous to get up here to Robert's Roost. So let's slowly make our way down. I'm gonna see if I can find some footholds so we don't fall, because like I said, these rocks are not like the desert where they're jagged. They're very slippery, and it's easy to lose your grip, even though the boots I have are top notch. So just trying to get a good handhold, and as I keep my good handhold, I'm finding a foothold and just going backwards. But it's so easy to slip. So you've got to just really be careful. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew and get myself in a situation where I can't get down because it's just too dangerous. So I'm trying to get on that foothold right there, and it's just a little too far. I'm going to put my hand here and get a good handhold, and there, we got it. And then right over down there, and we got it. All right. Now, worst case scenario, I could probably just jump down there. But let's try to get closer to the ground and just ease ourselves down if we can. Yes, I know it's dangerous. And I'm trying to be careful here. Maybe that's not the best way. Let's come up over here. Yeah, that might be best. And come up over here and see if we could slide down. Okay. Man, these are slippery rocks. If you don't get a good foothold, you're going to go sliding down, which we're about to. Okay. And notice I got no foothold. Look, I'm dangling my legs. But we're almost down. And that's it. Just like that. And that's how it's done. Let's get back down. Okay, it's a little bit of a challenging climb over this rough stuff, so I'm gonna roll film just in case, and to show you that even though it's downhill, it's still very rugged. And once we get down to the main trail, it should get easier. Right here, it's overcast, a little bit of shade, so it's really not that hot. But you can still dehydrate if you don't drink enough water or overexert yourself. My heart rate's 122 beats per minute, which isn't bad. All right. Keep going through this rough stuff and slowly zigzag our way down towards the bottom, back where we parked, and get out of here. I'll tell you what, this is some rugged stuff out here. This is even more rugged to where Kenny Beach disappeared. It's a lot harder to find somebody out here than it is the desert where Kenny Beach disappeared. Now, if you look right here, it almost looked like somebody poured concrete there. Maybe they did. Maybe they poured concrete to make some stairs. Clearly not in the 1800s, but maybe some point in time somebody did that because they know it's a popular hike. A lot more greenery here. You can tell we're not in the desert. It's the mountains. All right, elevation gain so far out here is 248 feet. Not huge, but for less than a mile, that's pretty big. So we're just slowly making our way back down the trail. Nothing really too strenuous because it's downhill. We should be there in no time at all. Oh, there's a relatively large lizard there. I don't know if I can get him on film. It is a fence lizard. You see him in there? He's a big one. Yeah, those fence lizards are very fast, so they're hard to catch. See, almost like a set of stairs. They're clearly somebody made because it's common hike. It might have been National Park Service. Make it easier for people to get out here. Hard to say. It's really sad that people leave trash out here. But this old rotted tree, it's got a really strong smell, like looks like somebody's been chopping at it, maybe for firewood or something. And these pieces of wood would make good firewood, but you don't see things like this in the desert. And it's got a really nice woodsy smell to it, something you wouldn't really smell in the city. But it's nice coming out here and smelling that. That kind of reminds you of campfires or camping. You know, here's actually a little Christmas tree, looks like. Perfect size for a Christmas tree. Very different terrain than the desert. And that was Robert's Roost. You could see we could have climbed to the top, maybe, and that's what it would have been up there. So somewhere in these mountains, there may very well be caves. You could see the cave we did go into, went in a little bit. There may be other hidden caves out here, but they're extremely hard to get to. It's extremely rugged terrain. It's very easy to get lost in these woods. It's unlike the desert. It's relatively easy. I don't think I would do anything more than a mile or so in here. It's just too easy to get lost. It's rugged, it's dangerous. There's no cell signal. My ham radio's been on the whole time. I've heard nothing. And you're out here, you're on your own. So the gentleman who came out here hiking and is now missing, you could see how easy it is to get lost out here. And if you're 75 years old hiking over this terrain, you don't have food or water, this may very well be your final resting place. Now you can see down there's the road and the parking area. So that's it for Robert's Roost. I hope you enjoyed this video. Expect a lot more death hike videos coming, especially as the weather's starting to cool off. If you like what you see, comment below. Love your comments, keep them coming, good, bad, doesn't matter, just comment below. I want to hear what you have to say. And subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post new videos. So that's it for this hike. See you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to the channel and you'll be notified when I post a new one. All of my videos are unscripted as they happen. I can't promise they'll be exciting, but I can promise they'll be 100% real. My name is Steve from Las Vegas, and these are my adventures.